So you guys are walking, following Owain, as he leads you sort of a roundabout, strange path over and under sort of cliff faces. He's very quiet. He doesn't say a whole lot the whole time, but it seems like he's traveled these roads many times. You can see that at one point he sort of like pulls himself up a rope and gestures for you guys to do the same. There seems to be a trail worn by him and his brethren. Excuse me. About so it's already nighttime when you start walking. You get to that sort of the rope bridge about an hour afterwards. You get to the top and you can see that there is not a makeshift camp, but a place that has been used as a campsite like many times in the past. And he says, "We can continue through the night, or we can sleep here for now, continue in the morning. I can't say I'd recognize. Recommend. Thank you. I can't say I'd recommend continuing tonight. There's a lot of things out here, and the more tired we are, the less we can do to protect ourselves. I'll keep leading the way if you'd prefer to make it quickly, however. Also, just a quick question. What the fuck is that?" And he points at Herky.
This is Herky.
What is it?
No,
Simultaneous shrug.
Herky also shrugs.
He's good-natured and he's handy in a fight.
All right.
Our friend might be in danger or worse. I would prefer to press onward, but I'm not the only
What if
person
he comes
here.
back? Should we wait here for him?
Well, we already left where he left.
We're like an hour away from
Yeah.
there.
Okay, never mind.
We can continue. We'll likely make it by daybreak.
I would prefer to go on, but I'm not the only one here.
It's pretty funny, Nate, that now you consider everyone else's feelings.
Well,
After you already lost Asthuvius.
I accept that blame. I do, don't worry.
Why are we following this man?
I can figure out what happened to your friend if you want me to.
Alright, let's go.
Frosty?
Go.
I guess we're going.
All right. He leads the way. Several more hours pass. There's several times where he asks you to stop as something large travels past. But by the time dawn breaks, you're all weary. Point of exhaustion weary. So I'll mark that down.
Thank you.
Dubious says permanent points of exhaustion.
Like eight permanent points of exhaustion.
You find yourself as dawn breaks over an imposing castle, weathered by age. The castle here is built out of the side of a mountain, and the gray waves of the ocean periodically slam up to its iron-reinforced flank. There are windows down in which water just rushes in through them. The castle is imposingly tall, but seems that the tallest towers have fallen to disrepair. The most notable thing about the structure, however, is the enormous tree growing out of the center of it. This gnarled and twisted plant sticks out from the gray of the mountain in the structure with a deep brown oak and fossil green leaves. At first glance, this tree is frozen in time. Not dead, yet not alive. But as you continue to look at it, you can see that there is life in its stillness. The leaves rustle in the wind, and it sounds like children whispering secrets. As spray from the tree reaches its lower branches, you swear the branches themselves reach out towards it. The tree strikes a deep sense of importance into your soul, and one that makes you realize that this is much more than a tree, but what it is isn't clear. As you approach this, Owain will take a knee and say, "Thy noble bows welcome me home once more, and for this I thank thee." And sort of gestures you to do the same.
I do.
A customary greeting for the all-knowing oak. continues to lead the way in. As you go across a wooden bridge, sort of torn with rot, you enter through a door, but you hear sounds of like thwack, thunk, ah. As you go in, you can see that there are two young individuals. Both female, one a tabaxi with spotted fur, and the other an elf with one hand, blindfolded, armed with only shield, while 4 skeletons surround the room and are throwing bones at them. They're pretty deftly blocking the bones, though every now and again they get hit by one. As you enter, Owain says, "We've returned." The skeletons crumble to the ground. And a man stands up from the other side of the room. He was encased in shadow before. This room is very run down. It looks like it was once a grand hall, but there's not much of it left. He stands up. It is a bald, half-elven man with an onyx circlet on his head and a jet black Van Dyke goatee. His left eye is as black as the void, and the skin around it is blackened as well, sort of in like veiny roots spreading across the rest of his face. He says, "Welcome back, Owain. I suspect this has something to do with you." And he throws a form onto the table in front of him. You see Thuvius' corpse, covered in frost and chill, roll across the table. I didn't do that, but does he look like your friend?
It does.
Suppose it was me. The man with the goatee walks forward, takes his face. The usual then, Owain? Sentient, please. Very well. Grabs him by the arm and just sort of drags him off the table as his corpse just hits the ground and drags his corpse into a different room. The two trainees take off their blindfolds to reveal that both of their eyes are still intact. Owain nods to them, says, "Kaylee," to the tabaxi, "Brilfin, leave us." And they nod and leave. I'm not an expert in much of anything, but if he's in Master Hellfast's hands, he'll be breathing again in no time. I don't know how he got here. I don't know if he had any sort of teleportation ability when he was alive. Okay. Hopefully, he'll be breathing again very soon. Unfortunately, there's a steep price to pay for that.
I'll pay it. Do I owe you anything?
Me, no.
Do I get to be a crypto?
Maybe.
Well, if you ever need help, let me know.
Appreciate it. I don't venture out much, but if Irdael is ever in trouble, I'll call on you. You seemed competent from the beginning of that fight. When I came out of the hole, you were on top of that dragon in an instant. I don't see bravery like that on many men.
Thanks.
Listen, I've lost companions before. This time you're getting them back.
I don't like making a habit of it, though.
I wouldn't recommend it, but it could be far worse. Can I get you anything? We have water.
That's more than enough, thank you.
All right. Well, we might as well get out in front of it a little bit. Hellfast is going to ask you for 2 things. One of them is variable. We'll see what he comes up with. The other one is recouping the cost of reviving him.
How much?
You know, that's a great question. Seeing as he's been dead more than 10 minutes, I think, it's probably going to have to be raised dead. So,
How much?
How much?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Oh, we say it in unison.
I thought Raised Dead was necromancy.
It's all everything that brings you back is necromancy.
I don't know why I thought it wasn't necromancy.
500 gold pieces.
Done.
Cool. All we can do is wait. He goes over to the side of the wall. He pulls a big, long table out that seemed to have been moved for practice and starts setting chairs. Sit if you want. I'd give you a tour, but I'm not allowed. I'm gonna go check on the trainees. If they're not training, they should be doing something.
Thank you.
May the Oak's blessing be on you.
And you too.
Thanks.
And also,
And he leaves.
you should have some.
It's just the four of you standing in a room. Eerily silent with the exception of the sounds of the waves hitting the walls below you.
Was it worth it?
I'm gonna go find a corner and meditate.
Okay.
Short rest.
Sure.
Was it?
No.
I accept my blame for what happened. Do you?
Yeah. Can I pay it?
No, I'm paying it.
No, I am.
You're gonna pay it off some other way, okay? That's up to you to decide.
Can I just pay it?
No.
I'm storming off.
Bye.
Outside or
Just
deeper into the
I'm
castle?
taking the corner that Elrol isn't in. Or maybe are they training or something?
They're not in the room. They went deeper into the castle.
Okay, then
You can go after them if you want, but
maybe if I can find a window, I could just watch them from.
sure. Yeah, you go and you see that it does sort of open up into a small courtyard. Definitely not the courtyard with the giant tree in it,
Yeah.
but a small
Okay.
courtyard. And you see that he's sort of talking to them as they are reapplying the blindfolds.
Just want to angsty gaze out the window.
Like that horse, that picture of the horse in the in the building.
Sure, I'll put it up. What are the two of you up to?
I'm gonna rest in the room. Just chill out.
I'm gonna just pace.
Thuvius,
What's up?
stop making a new character.
Damn it! Rick is so cool.
Well, you get to know who's reviving you, and you can
I want to play
and you
Rick.
can choose to not be revived.
That
According
is-
to the spell. I don't
That is
know.
true.
If,
I don't think Thuvius
you
would
also
do
get
that.
to know their alignment as well.
I,
They're
as
reviving
Peter, might do that, but Thuvius would not do that.
At least we have confirmation
how-
that Grillium is still out there.
Living his
Thuvius,
best life.
Thuvius wants to come back to life. I don't think
He would.
I
ever.
want him to.
William's a real winner of the bar crawl, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that eternal.
You open your eyes. You find yourself in another grand chamber.
Oh. Oh.
Not the one from before. You look down and your body is covered in frost.
Oh, it's cold.
It's not.
Oh,
You feel nothing.
it's not cold.
You feel absolutely nothing. You look around. This is a grand and ominous
Can
chamber.
I turn my head, or am I just like?
Yeah, you can turn your head. The walls and the floor are crafted of a substance of a darker black than you have ever seen before. The surfaces are infused with deep red lines bordering around the edges of the walls and pillars that support the ceiling, creating a sense of an order, albeit an unnerving one. You stand in a square outlined by red bordering on the abyssally black floor, and directly in front of you is a ruby statue of a beautiful woman. She stands 25 feet tall and is sculpted carving on...
This is what being dead is like.
Sculpted, sitting on a chair with a book open in her hand. Her face is covered by an immaculately carved veil. In fact, you've never seen Ruby carved before, much less to this degree of lifelikeness, though it is undoubtedly a statue. You can see under the veil that there are high cheekbones and sharp features uncannily reminiscent of a skull. A voice sounds in your head, and as it does so, two red lights glow from under the veil with each word. The voice says, "It seems that death may not take you this day. Those of the living have called you back. Shall you answer their call?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You're between life and death. Your soul has been called from beyond and shall be returned into the body should you heed this call.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Obviously, yes.
The living have paid their price. Now you must pay yours.
Ooh. You didn't talk about this.
One cannot simply return to life for nothing. Those who do scorn the laws of life and death. You must pay 2 prices. The first is small. You will have no memory of this place. You will simply remember darkness. The second price is yours to name. You must leave something with me. It can be large or small, dear or insignificant, just know this. The fickle hands of fate know what you leave behind. Now make your choice.
Gosh. I have like...
I just love the dynamic of Thuvius talking to greater beings.
Yeah,
let's do it. Sure.
I have like nothing.
Doesn't have to be material thing. Just from a DM perspective, doesn't have to be material.
Invoke the law of surprise? I don't know. Like...
He gets pregnant. This is wrong.
Shit.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Fuck. one of the people through this slept like gets pregnant.
This is wrong. This isn't the nice.
Oh shit. I don't know what to offer.
There doesn't seem to be any sort of time limit for this. The statue has fallen dark, but you can feel a presence trained on you. One far scarier than the one that you were in the presence of previously, but doesn't seem as malicious in intent towards you.
I don't want to like waste like a huge period of time here. Like, do I just need to think of something? Like,
Sure, yeah. No, also, the rest of you level up right now while we're doing this.
I suppose there are others who have broken balance,
Yes.
perhaps without paying.
Some of them vaulted to the status of gods.
Are you perhaps trying to bring any back? Perhaps strike a deal? I help with that.
Child. I
have a bad tendency to try to make deals with higher beings.
I don't often advise the lives of mortals, but making a deal with me has led to nothing but suffering for many, many more powerful than yourself. I am she who watches the balance of life and death.
What would be customary for this exchange?
Most commonly, eyes. I've seen a heart. Some give me gold. A paltry artifact. I take all prizes. I just tend to see those who pay meekly quite a bit sooner than I see those who don't. Should you like to enter a covenant, this is a price, but one I cannot recommend.
Everything I have is so useless. Blake, give me a little guidance here. I don't. Like,
We'll move to somebody else. Think about it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what to get. I just can't.
No, I understand, but like.
Think about it. Back in Cryptal's zone, training seems to finish. The elven woman sits and meditates, but the spotted tabaxi comes up to you, Finn, where you're watching in the doorway.
Sorry.
The tabaxi woman. She goes, "Hi, I'm Kaylee. What's your name?"
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah.
Wait,
he shoves a tear.
What brings you to Irdael? We don't get visitors very often.
I ran into Owain. He kind of saved my butt.
Yeah, he's a big old softy.
He said that.
I mean, not in terms of doling out punishments or training. He's way harder than Master Hellfast in that regard, but I mean, he lets us call him by his first name, so.
That's cool.
Yeah, I hope to be a crypto like him someday.
Do you like it here?
It's the place I spent my life searching for.
Oh.
But she's certainly older than you, but
Yeah.
she's definitely not broken 20.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it's a pleasant life. And look, I'm not looking forward to a life of scorn and derision from the people I meet, but I was meant to come here, and for that reason I feel fulfilled.
I'm gonna lower my voice and be like, if you're being forced to like say these things, just give me a wink, scratch your nose.
No.
Are you in trouble? Okay.
No, you can quit the training at any time. Well, up until you meet the convocation, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to talk to somebody who doesn't want to be here, she sort of angles her head over at the elf, just sitting and meditating. But this is the penance she serves for the crimes she did in a past life,
Oh. So some come willingly and some.
and others don't.
Hmm. Wow. Do you guys ever really leave this general area, or you're not?
We
You
s-
kind of explained it to me. People don't really like you.
We spend our time, well, I couldn't tell you how many cryptos there are out in the world. They don't return unless on their deathbed. Right now, it's simply the 2 instructors and 1 or 2 cryptals who have just finished their pilgrimage, and then the 2 of us trainees. There's also a foundling, but he's too young to begin training, so.
Cool.
We spend most of our time here, but also in the crags, fighting off monsters, doing courses, training our bodies and minds. I hear you had a run-in with Regax.
Yeah.
We were set to fight him next week. It seems
Sorry.
like that's not going to happen. No, thank you. You've done us a service. Don't really want to fight a hunger-mad dragon.
Yeah. I wanted. Never mind.
If you're going to say you want to join, I
No.
can't say you'd enjoy it.
No.
Should live a little more life before you decide to throw yours away in this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get you anything?
No.
Food, a blanket?
No.
I just saw you crying in a doorway, so.
I-
This is your friend. He's dead. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, he won't be for long.
Yeah, it's just...
Hellfast is a cleric and a necromancer, so bringing things back from the dead is his specialty.
Yeah, it's just all my fault.
I'm sure that's not true.
Okay, yeah, I know, that's what everyone says, but it is. So, like...
Well, you know better than I. If you need anything, I'm gonna go be pestering Miss One Hand over there, so. She walks over and starts meditating, loudly humming next to the elf.
What was her name? Kylie?
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
It's got
She's
you got anything? I'll come back to you.
No.
Okay. Owain's gonna come back into the room, be like, all right, the ritual's complete. He's not awake yet, but he will be soon. Hellfast has named his price. He gave you a life, you have to give him one. He requires someone to train. He doesn't mean it to be any of you, doesn't need it to be now, but at some point, you've got to send him anyone to become a crypto.
Doesn't.
It's a cruel price, but you can't argue with him. Otherwise, you'll just send him straight back.
Don't we know a necromancer who wants to be a cryptal?
Does Henrietta want to be a crypto? Do we remember that?
You know, she was trying to get here because one of her old masters was here.
Okay.
Not that she was a
Wants to be-
crypto.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Is there a time limit on this?
He didn't have one.
Well,
He likes to not put one on deals like this so we can hold it over people's heads for as long as possible.
Well,
It's a cruel man.
well, he should know I never go back on my word, and I will find someone. If I can't, and he gets impatient, he can take me.
I won't tell him that last part because he'll take you now, but
Cool. But if you hear rumblings, he's getting impatient. Then, Plan B.
find a way to let you know.
Yeah. Do I give you the money, or do I wait for him to?
Just put it on the table, he'll pick it up. We don't have much need for money here in Irdael, so no one
Okay.
will steal it.
Yeah, I'll put it there.
Well, your friend, did he always have horns?
No, he did not.
Cool.
This is gonna be fun.
Well, I mean, I figured you had one tiefling. I wasn't sure if there was another. I never actually saw him alive, so
That's fair.
might be in for a bit of a treat.
I don't know if you'll love it or hate it.
I don't know him at all,
Mm.
so.
Well, thank you.
I can take you all to sort of the bed chambers. We've been up all night. You might need to rest. He won't be up for another few hours anyway. It might be best to sleep.
Okay, is it okay if I sleep in here?
We
is
kind
it
of have to
needed
continue
yeah.
training.
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit.
fine. I don't want to be a burden. By the way, we have a person down in what's the coastal town called?
Rexilian.
Rexilian. Her old master used to be from here.
Our old master.
You know,
Who is it?
her name's Henrietta.
Henrietta, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Poor girl. What happened?
Coffin kind of got smashed.
Yeah, well, she's gonna get an earful about that one. Hellfast just so happens to be her master.
Good.
Told her not to do the whole coffin thing, but
It is a little impractical, but I don't want to disparage the girl. She's
apparently
pretty great.
it meant something to her, yeah.
Yeah. She's down there and doesn't have any combat ability right now.
I suppose, yeah, only that would possess her to come suffer the abuse of Ian Hellfast once more. Alright, well, I assume you're headed back down there?
Yeah.
I can come with you and pick her up.
Thank you so much.
I suppose it's the least I can do considering the months of hell she's gonna have to endure.
Now, I don't want to seem ingrateful to this man who's bringing my friend back to life, but she's also my friend, and I don't want her to...
She said she had another master. I don't know why she didn't go to that one. There's the thing about Henrietta is Hellfast is stuck in his ways. When he sees someone who doesn't align with his ways of life, he doesn't accept that. Henrietta wasn't born Henrietta, but rather Henry. He doesn't agree.
Okay. So, asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole. Would you advise her to do something else that
She's wiser than I am. If she thinks this is the best course of action, I mean, I can't tell her not to.
Could I ask you to keep an eye out on her?
I was planning on it.
Thank you.
It's not often I get to have somebody around the place that isn't training to become just like me, so I have a bit of a fondness for her.
Okay. I believe she's in good hands then. Well,
At least one pair of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Now get some rest. I can see the bags forming under your eyes.
They're always there.
You get to that age.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, he's probably similar in age to you, yeah.
Do you have that weird thing with the lower back?
Yeah.
It keeps making a clicking sound. I don't know if that's good.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
wish there was a way to oil that a little bit, but anyway.
Boomer corner.
So, bedrooms.
This way. The rest of you, if any of you would like to sleep, I'm showing you to the bedrooms. If you'd like to stay, just training's going to commence here in a second. Stay out of the way, otherwise, Master Hillfast, I'll have some words for you. And he leads the way. Does anybody stay, or you'll just follow him?
Bed.
Bedtime.
Bedtime.
You got anything?
Duvius begins to. Do I have my things with me?
Yeah.
The material. I thought you had sent me something.
No.
Mistake. Duvius begins to take off everything he has, except for the armor he is wearing and the one. What's it called? It's on here.
The dagger?
The vicious dagger. Literally everything else. So leather armor, short sword, short bow, more daggers, burglar's pack, thieves' tools, ink quill, letter from a friend I never went over. 300 gold, drops it.
And your hat?
Yeah, sure. He throws the hat down. The illusory blade, a human skull, a bottle of, couple bottles of oil, a bottle of rot spine, the adamantine short sword, unfortunately, the glove of the Fletcher, the HP potion, and unfortunately the marble of fireball. He's like, I give you everything I can do without.
You give to me your... Come on. You give to me your worldly possessions. And the hat sort of floats a little bit, then disappears.
And my
And your
identity.
and your pretenses. The price is paid. Your vision starts to sort of dim. And you can see sort of the light fall down her face. And as it reaches her chin, you fall to unconsciousness. You all wake up around the same time.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Before we went to bed, I was going to give Elroll the book
Cool.
that I found.
What's this?
I don't know. But I found it.
It's a book?
Yeah.
From where?
From like right outside the city. Just chilling.
I open it up.
There's a lot of runic markings. This is...
Are they magic runes?
They are.
Woo! Can still read these. By the way, you know, I don't have...
You've lost your eyes at the
I've lost the
Runekeeper.
ability to read all written languages.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, I swapped it out for something else. But now I can't... But I can read magic runes, though, because of my...
Okay. Your eyeball.
Yeah.
It's a spell book.
What spells are in it?
I have it somewhere. You get the sense that it's sort of like a basic evocation wizard spell book. The highest level spell in there is a 3rd level, which is Fireball. There's other stuff like Detect Magic, Identify, all your sort of run-of-the-mill evocation stuff. It seems like they preferred fire, like Agnazar's Scorcher is in there.
It's full of wizard spells.
Oh, well, I don't have a wizard, so I guess it's useless.
I
Oh,
keep
wait,
it in my
is it?
bag.
Cool. You all go to bed. You all wake up around the same time. You wake up in the sort of barracks area, feeling sort of well rested. Not that the beds were very comfortable, but
I feel stronger than ever.
We wake up and we have a Lord of the Rings Gimli.
though as you do wake up, you see that the bald man with the goatee is standing in the doorway. He beckons you sort of flippantly and then walks.
Let's go. We go.
You go. He leads you up a spiral staircase into a room sort of decorated with the occult. There is an altar in the center of the room, and lying upon that altar is Thuvius, sort of. Thuvius now, he looks mostly similar. His skin is like very, very pale at this point. Not like that of a corpse, but very close to it. And curling out of his head are 2 just big, like, ram's horns. Other than that, he seems virtually unchanged. And he's lying with his eyes
Am I
closed.
still an elf?
You're still an elf.
Good. That would have been a problem. I would have like forgotten some cantrips.
No, you're still enough.
You look different.
Flashier.
Am I awake?
You awake to their voices, and as he opens his eyes, they are yellow.
Much flashier.
Dude!
What?
Yeah,
So I don't remember.
You don't remember
the Lady
the
of Pain. I'm assuming
liminal space.
But I.
Lady of Pain.
Is that the wrong? Is that,
Mm.
that's so. There's some lore where in D&D where that's the woman who watches over life and death. I don't know. Anyway,
It might be. I don't know.
that could be Forgotten Realms. I don't know.
Like no pupils yellow? Or just...
I remember.
He has they're normal eyes, but instead of whatever color they were before, they
I
are now
remember
yellow.
the demon, right?
You do remember
Okay.
that. That's the last thing you
What's
remember
his
is the
name?
dragon Athux.
Athux.
Oh, he fucks.
Oh.
Too much.
He fucks. Yeah, he fucks. Oh.
The voice of the man says, "As I resurrected him, those grew. Don't know what it was. It doesn't matter. You know my price?
We know it.
Good." And turns around and leaves.
Duvius sits up groggily. Hey, you all made it.
You made it is
Shouldn't
the
be
more
surprised.
important thing.
Yeah.
What do you expect? I'm lucky.
As you go like that, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense, I guess.
How?
He's just wearing his new leather armor, and he doesn't have his bag. He doesn't have his cloak. He doesn't have his hat. He's just has his
The leather armor and
the dagger.
the dagger. What's it gonna drop?
Were you robbed? As well as killed?
They
must have looted his body.
Probably. I'm surprised they didn't take the two
What?
things I used. Because I don't remember where the items were.
Yeah,
No.
you have no idea.
I assume I was robbed.
They didn't get this. And he's back your spell book. They left that behind.
Yeah.
What?
Useful now, and I like flash it open all of a sudden.
Herky goes.
What is that?
It's a tome of spell storing. I didn't know what was in it. It was how I took out the dragon.
Do you?
Wow, we did a lot of stupid decisions today.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back.
I plane shifted it. I think. Do I know what I casted?
You do, yeah.
I plane shifted it. I just had no control over where.
To where?
Thuvius knows. I don't. Where was I?
It's the abyss.
The abyss. The abyss.
Well, he said the triple realm of Azagrat
Right, which Thuvius
that's the abyss.
Yeah.
It's the most famous realm of the abyss because the material plane almost it was there for a bit.
Yeah, visited the abyss again, just like old times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They killed the dragon. Really, I assume, or it's still there. The dragon killed me though. As for this, I was in the process of making a deal when I died, so this could be interesting.
Deal with.
Athix
Every one of you knows that name.
came right into his chamber with the dragon. And I was chatting with him. I didn't agree to anything, but, you know, he agreed not to kill me, and then the dragon got to me, so I would be willing to bet he wanted to make sure I didn't try to pin this on him. Ooh, we could pin this on him.
You're not gonna do anything.
Oh, no, hold on, hang on. We totally could pin this on him. Yeah. Just convince everyone on the material plane it was him.
And do what with that?
I don't know. Information is useful. Listen, I just came back from the dead. I'm not really, 100% Thuvius.
I think you have some levels of exhaustion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now what?
Yeah.
And then he just gives you a big ol' hug.
How different do I look?
You look so cool.
You know what?
That's coming from Finn.
I mean, Finn's got pretty good taste when it comes to that.
I've been growing these bad boys for 14 years. He just dies and gets enormous ones. That's pretty cool.
Would you say my shield is
As long as it
polished?
counts, Finn.
Do a mirror shine.
mirror shine.
I wouldn't say that. No.
I just wanted to do.
How far out do they go? Is this
Right
like
on,
insane, or is this just like? Oh.
They like curl back.
Okay.
Sort of mollymock horns, if that means anything to you.
All right. Yeah.
No, that was for Elril.
Thuvius intercepts.
Tiefling corner.
No. I don't think
Horny
I'm a tiefling.
corny. Corny.
Horny corners.
Nope.
The Horner.
The Horner. Well, I mean, what did you guys do while I was gone?
We owe them somebody. Our
To
payment
train.
to bring you back was they want to recruit.
Payment. Why is that? All right. Well, I suppose a life for a life. That is the kind of thing I would do.
We don't have a time limit, but
Oh, well, then.
I don't know.
If we don't, they
Screw
have
it.
something over us.
yeah.
My
I mean,
life
like,
is
I'm
my
gonna die
life.
a lot sooner than you guys, so
Well,
It would-
I don't believe that. I mean, I've already died once.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm glad we can joke about that. It wasn't stressful at all.
He feels like vomits from exhaustion.
Honestly, you're making jokes, but you can see he's weak.
Okay, I know I make a lot of jokes about carrying people, mostly him, but I can carry you to some barracks so you can fall asleep.
No, I think I'm alright. I don't sleep anyway, you know.
Meditate, I don't care. Want a comfy bed
I don't really
with a little
meditate.
blanket on
I
it?
mean, I can meditate while I walk. I have to.
We're not gonna make
No.
you do that.
No, is that not a thing?
I don't think
I
so.
I can meditate while walking. Honestly, I mean, I don't need anything. I mean, I'd like to know what this is, you know. I would like to.
Something tells me we'll find out in due time.
Yeah. you
We're
you
just
sure
gonna encounter.
you sure know about, you know, higher powers and you know.
Yeah, it just doesn't leave you alone.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Should I take a level in Warlock?
No, but we could talk about it.
Elf Warlock corner.
Elf Warlock corner.
It's patron corner over there.
Dwarf corner.
No.
Warner.
I mean, I'm fine. As fine as I can be for someone who just
For your brothers to be Warner Bros.
died. That's all, folks. I mean, so what? Our next goal is: are we still going south for the kid?
That's what I would like, but I feel like you get first dibs. At least
God.
I can do. I'm sorry for.
Can we take a bit? Maybe just let me rest
Yeah.
a little while and.
I carry you to the barracks is what I want to do.
I think I can walk it. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to stand up.
You're able to. You're weak, but it's like you haven't eaten in a week.
How long was I out? How long ago did I get rid of the dragon?
12 hours?
A little under 12 hours. Yeah, it's been about a day.
A little under 12 hours.
Feels a lot longer than that.
Cool. So you rest up. We'll say altogether you manage to make the next morning. Everyone's feeling okay, unless there's stuff you want to do in the night. The rest of you.
So tell me about your tome of spell storing. Can you store some of my spells in there?
My understanding it is that. Did we just say it was reskinned Ring of Spell Storing?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, it's in the DMG.
I just looked at that one. That one can't store a spell over 5th level.
Do I need to?
Like, you cast a spell into it, and it.
Okay, so I can't like catch a spell.
No.
Damn.
No.
I'm looking to
Fireball.
go. I'm looking to go fight the Sword of Lygia, but immediately just bye.
Grab a power word kill, throw it back in.
Arcane Tricksters can do that. You have to be really high level, but
Yeah.
Arcane Tricksters can do that.
There's the Uno reverse card.
You all have cards. I have one too.
Card carrier of the reverse card.
Well, if you'd like me to store one of my spells in there, I certainly could. Or Finn.
What?
Makes a spellcaster as well.
I mean, I don't see why
A
not.
dimension door, or an invisibility spell would be probably useful for someone like you.
Invisibility could be interesting. Which one is Dimension Door?
It's 500 feet. Just pick a direction and boom.
It's pretty good. Can I cast? Oh yeah, of course I can cast someone else's spell out of it.
Yeah. Although, in order to do that, you are going to have to attune to it. It didn't require attunement before, but now it does require attunement.
Oh,
That makes sense.
To put a spell in or to use it?
To use it, yeah.
Okay. You could just say I was attuned to
What
it. But
spell does it store at the basic spell slot, or does it store at the level I put into it?
It stores it at whatever level you put into it, but it can't exceed whatever it says in the DM.
I'm gonna argue off precedent. It can store a spell higher than 5.
But it wasn't
stored
originally a
7.
spell storing thing. It was a different item that became a thing of spell storing.
Oh, I thought it was just
Yeah.
at home with someone's spell.
Basically, Papa was like, use this in a case of emergency. It's very powerful, and then it'll also be something.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. I plane shifted to the abyss. You bitch.
Use this when you're trying to get fucked.
Fuck you, son. Here you go.
Well, if you'd like a spell, let me know.
I mean,
Because I control. Yeah, whatever.
No. I mean, yeah. Let's try it. Let's try it.
What do you want?
What were your suggestions? What do you have? What do you have?
You could have Charm Person.
I already have that.
Yeah, but at a 4th level spell slot.
No. Come on.
Dimension Door.
Dimension Door is
Flock
very
of
interesting.
Familiars.
I already have a familiar.
Hex. Invisibility. Tongues. Sickening Radiance. Wall of Fire.
I have fine steed.
Finn,
Finn, what do you got?
How do you have so many 4th level slots?
He only has 4th level.
Those aren't slots. Those are just my spells.
Yeah.
And they're always cast at 4th level.
Wait, Finn.
What?
Finn, do you have daylight?
I
We
do.
are headed south. One more charge of daylight might be useful.
I do.
If we are still headed south.
Yeah. Oh, so it like duplicates it? It doesn't...
It's yours. You cast the spell for your day, but it casts, instead of activating, it stores itself in his book.
So then the next day you go back to full, but we still have.
Yes. You're basically saving a spell for later in his book.
Cool. Yeah.
Cast daylight right in there.
Boom.
Cool.
I'm sure someday we can cast another spell in here, but for now, we're headed into vampire territory, More daylight. Always useful.
Cool.
You have 12 hours of it.
How long does daylight last?
Well, daytime is 12.
1 hour.
1 hour. 12 casts.
I got
A
it.
60-foot radius sphere.
Just gonna try to trick a vampire into opening.
That's 120 feet diameter.
Answers you want.
Cool. So, do you have any other business
The
with the
answers you
cryptals,
want
or
is
should we
huge.
begin the journey home the next day?
Does anyone else have anything for the cryptos?
I mean, big ol' thank you.
Helvast does not show his face after that interaction. You just don't see him again.
Can I say things while it was happening? No, I was an ass.
Owain says, I'll tell him you said thanks, but he doesn't deserve it, so.
I mean, I'm sure you have some history with him, whoever you are, but
Name's Owain.
Owain, I'm sure you have a history with him, but he did bring me back from the dead,
He
so
did.
I'm kind of,
I get it.
yeah.
Well, you ready? I'll take you back to Rexelion the quickest way possible.
Sounds good.
Before you leave, however, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you see Kaylee behind you. She hands you a small wooden object and closes your hand around it. Says, I hope you find your purpose. And then leaves. It's a little cat. Just a little carved cat.
Aww.